Marco Rossi had done his research. 3 months of travel blogs and YouTube videos. The Philippines looked perfect. White sand beaches, smiling locals, cheap. His euro would stretch forever. He booked 2 weeks. Manila first, then island hopping. Easy vacation. He landed at Ninoy Aquino International Airport on a Tuesday evening, confident and ready. The automatic doors opened. A wall of heat hit him like stepping into an oven. Thick, wet, suffocating. Around him, chaos erupted. Taxi drivers shouting, families embracing. The noise was overwhelming. He wiped sweat from his forehead. It was 9 p.m. and still 32 degrees. This wasn't the Philippines from the photos. He sat in a yellow taxi, trapped in traffic that barely moved. Jeepneys cut across lanes. Motorcycles squeezed between cars. Horns blared constantly. The 20-minute ride stretched past 90 minutes. His hotel room was small. Outside, karaoke blared. Someone sang My Way completely off-key for 6 minutes straight. Marco stared at the ceiling. What had he gotten himself into? Morning came brutal and hot. He tried crossing the street. Cars didn't stop. He waited, calculating gaps that never came. An elderly woman walked straight into traffic, hand raised. Cars slowed. She waved him forward without looking back. He hurried across, confused. At a small carinderia, he pointed at an unfamiliar dish. The vendor loaded his plate generously, adding extra meat despite his protests. He sat alone at a plastic table. Around him, construction workers laughed. A family shared one plate. Everyone seemed comfortable in the chaos. The food was delicious, but he felt completely out of place. By afternoon, he retreated to his room, defeated. He opened his phone. Photos from friends back home. Autumn in Bologna. Quiet streets, organized cafes. He typed to his best friend, I don't know, man. This place is a lot. Thinking of cutting the trip short. He didn't send it. By evening, restlessness drove him out. He got lost. A young man didn't just point directions. He walked with Marco for 10 minutes, talking the whole way. At Rizal Park, Marco tried to pay him. The young man waved him off, almost offended. He smiled and walked away. Marco stood there, confused. In Italy, nothing was free. An elderly man sat beside him on a bench. He gestured at Marco's camera and offered to take photos. Marco hesitated, then handed it over. The old man took several shots carefully, returned the camera with a satisfied nod, patted Marco's shoulder, and walked away. Marco looked at the photos. They were better than any he'd taken himself. At a street food cart, a woman handed him skewered meat before he could order. She refused payment, just smiled and waved him on. Marco took a bite. Sweet, salty, perfect. He still didn't understand this place. He tried taking a jeepney. A teenager showed him how. Passengers squeezed together to make room. The jeepney lurched through traffic. Music played. A mother bounced a baby. A student did homework by phone light. Marco noticed something. No one seemed stressed. No one checked their watch. No one complained. They were just present. In Bologna, everyone on the bus avoided eye contact, annoyed if someone sat too close. Here, people shared the space like it belonged to everyone. He got off at the wrong stop, completely lost. A family eating dinner outside noticed him. The father approached and gestured toward their table. The mother pulled up a chair. Marco tried to decline. They insisted gently. He sat. They served him from their own pot. Rice, chicken, vegetables. No one spoke English. Marco spoke no Tagalog, but somehow it didn't matter. They ate together. The father showed photos. The mother kept refilling his plate. The children giggled behind their hands. When Marco tried to leave money, the father firmly handed it back. No negotiation, just a smile. Marco walked slowly back. The streets were alive. Karaoke from one house. Laughter from another. A basketball game under a streetlight. Life spilled out everywhere. Nothing was hidden. Everything was shared. He paused at a corner, just watching. For the first time since landing, he wasn't trying to figure anything out. He was just there. In his room, he deleted the unsent message to Luca. He changed his return flight, pushing it 2 weeks later. The cost was significant. He paid it anyway. Days passed differently after that. He learned which jeepney to take. The vendor knew his order. He crossed streets boldly. He said salamat instead of thank you. One evening he passed a basketball court. Someone waved him over. Before he knew it, he was playing, missing badly. Everyone laughed, including him. They played until dark. Someone offered water. Someone else offered a ride home. Marco accepted both. He returned to the family with Italian groceries. Pasta, tomatoes, olive oil. They cooked together. He showed them aglio e olio. They taught him adobo. Tantia lang, they said. Just estimate, feel it. The meal was a fusion disaster that tasted perfect. When he left, they exchanged numbers. The mother made him promise to message from Italy. The father walked him to the corner. They shook hands. Then the father pulled him into a brief, firm hug. Something cracked open in Marco's chest. On his last night, he walked through the neighborhood one final time. He knew these streets now. That balut vendor, that sorry store, that house with the loud karaoke. The noise that kept him awake the first week now felt like a lullaby. He packed slowly. His clothes smelled like Manila. He folded a sampaguita garland into his bag. In the taxi to the airport, he watched the city pass. The same traffic, the same heat, the same chaos. But he saw it differently now. The jeepneys weren't inefficient. They were moving communities. The noise wasn't chaos. It was connection. The slowness wasn't backward. It was present. On the plane, he pulled out his notebook. He'd only written once before, complaining about heat and noise. Now he wrote something different. Italy taught me how to live beautifully. The Philippines taught me how to live together. 3 weeks later, Marco sat in his Bologna cafe with Luca. Tell me about the trip. Marco showed photos, not of beaches, of a family's dinner table, a basketball court, a jeepney packed with strangers. You didn't go to the beach? Marco smiled. I did, but that's not what I remember. That evening, Marco cooked adobo in his apartment. The smell filled his kitchen. It wasn't quite right, missing something he couldn't name. The warmth, the laughter, the sense of cooking for people you love. He ate alone. The silence felt wrong. He opened his laptop. Return flights. December. The family had invited him for Christmas. He clicked purchase. His phone buzzed. You come back for Christmas? We wait for you. Marco typed, save me a plate. I'll be there. Send. December arrived cold in Bologna. At the airport, Luca dropped him off. 2 weeks in the Philippines again? There are other places to see? I know. So why go back? Marco grabbed his bag. Because Italy taught me how to appreciate beautiful things. The Philippines taught me how to be part of something beautiful. 20 hours later, Marco walked through the same arrival gates. The same heat, the same chaos. This time he smiled. The family waited at arrivals. All of them. Holding a handmade sign, Welcome home, Marco. The children ran to him first. Then the mother hugged him like her son. The father pulled him into that firm embrace. You came back. I told you I would. Everyone says that. No one comes back. Marco looked at them, at the crowded airport, at the city waiting outside. I'm not everyone. That night they ate together. The same outdoor kitchen, the same plastic chairs, the same generous portions. But this time Marco wasn't a guest. He was family. The karaoke would start at 8 p.m. The roosters would wake him at 5 a.m. The traffic would be terrible. The heat would be relentless. And Marco couldn't wait. Because Marco hadn't found paradise in the Philippines. He'd found something better. People who didn't need him to be impressive, who didn't care about his passport or his euros. People who simply saw him, welcomed him, and made space at their table. In Italy, everything was beautiful. But in the Philippines, he belonged. And belonging was worth more than all the perfect espressos and punctual trains in the world. The traveler they would have called too foreign had proven that true belonging wasn't about fitting in perfectly. It was about being welcomed imperfectly. And the Philippines had welcomed him exactly as he was. Not because he earned it, but because that's what they do. They welcome people home, even people who didn't know they were looking for home until they found it.